Have you ever wondered why we speak so many different languages? Why communication can be so difficult, even when we're trying our best? The answer might lie in an ancient story, a story about a tower that tried to scrape the sky and a people who wanted to make a name for themselves. This is the story of the Tower of Babel. Imagine a world long ago where everyone on Earth spoke the same language. Not just similar words, but a perfect, shared understanding. Communication was seamless. If you had an idea, everyone got it instantly. This unity allowed humanity to move with a single, powerful purpose. After the Great Flood, people journeyed and settled in a plain in the land of Shinar, which we now know as Babylon. And there, with their shared language and unified will, they came up with a grand plan. They said to each other, "Come, let us build ourselves a city, with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves." Think about that. Great city, a symbol of their strength and civilization. And a tower, not just any tower, but one that reached for the heavens. This wasn't just an incredible feat of engineering or a burst of human creativity. It was something more. It's a statement. Their motivation was clear. Let us make a name for ourselves. This was about human pride, about challenging the very idea of needing anyone or anything greater than themselves. It was an attempt to secure their own legacy, to put their name, not God's, in the history books forever. Now, unity is a powerful thing. When people come together, they can achieve incredible feats. And God himself acknowledged this. Looking down at their project, he said that with their unity and shared language, nothing they planned to do would be impossible for them. This is a key point. The power of unity is neutral, can be used for immense good or for immense pride. In this case, their unity was fueling an ambition that was spiraling into arrogance. They were uniting against God's command, not in harmony with it. Instead of spreading out and filling the earth as they were told, they were clustering together to build a monument to their own greatness. So, God decided to intervene. The story says he came down to see the city and the tower they were building, saw their prideful ambition, and knew it would lead them down a dangerous path. To stop this, he didn't send a flood or an earthquake. He did something much more subtle, yet profoundly effective. He confused their language. Suddenly, the words that once united them became a source of chaos. A worker calling for bricks would be met with a confused stare. An architect trying to give instructions would only be heard as babble. The perfect cooperation they enjoyed shattered in an instant. The effect was immediate. Without the ability to understand each other, the building project ground to a halt. The frustration and confusion were overwhelming. How can you build a tower when you can't even ask for a tool? The great unified community broke apart. People began to group with those they could understand, small pockets of shared new languages. From there, they scattered across the face of the earth, just as God had originally intended. They left their half-finished city and their monument to pride behind. The place was named Babel, which means confusion, a permanent reminder of what had happened there. So what's the real lesson here? Was God angry at them for being innovative or for building a tall structure? Not at all. The Bible is full of praise for skill, craftsmanship, and creativity. The issue wasn't the technology. It was the heart behind it. It was about self-exaltation. Their entire project was a declaration of independence from God. They were essentially saying, we don't need to depend on God. We can secure our own future, make our own name, and reach heaven on our own terms. The story serves as a powerful warning that human progress, when driven by pride instead of humility and obedience, can become a very dangerous thing. It shows that our greatest achievements can become our greatest downfalls if our motives are wrong. This story also teaches us a profound truth about where true unity comes from. The unity they tried to build at Babel was based on human ego and a shared rebellion. And like any structure built on a faulty foundation, it was doomed to collapse. It was a counterfeit unity. The Bible suggests that true lasting unity is something that only God can provide. Interestingly, the story of Babel is symbolically reversed thousands of years later in the New Testament. At the event of Pentecost, there, the followers of Jesus were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak, and people from many different nations heard the message in their own native languages. Where Babel created division through language, Pentecost created unity through a shared spiritual understanding despite the language differences. It shows that God's plan is not to erase our diverse cultures and languages, but to unite our hearts through a common faith. Finally, the story is a testament to the idea that God's purposes will always prevail. Remember, God's very first command to humanity was to be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. By gathering in one place to build a city and a name for themselves, the people at Babel were directly defying that command. They wanted to stay put and consolidate their power. But God's intervention, while it seemed like a punishment, actually accomplished his original plan. By scattering them, he ensured that humanity would spread across the globe, forming new nations, cultures, and societies. It's a reminder that even when we try to go our own way and follow our own plans, God's ultimate purpose will not be thwarted. He can even use our prideful mistakes to bring about his will. The Tower of Babel isn't just an old tale about why we speak different languages. It's a story about ambition, pride, and the nature of true unity. It challenges us to look at our own lives, our own ambitions, and our own towers. Are we building for our own glory, to make a name for ourselves? Or are we using our talents and our unity to serve a purpose greater than ourselves? It's a timeless question, and the answer makes all the difference. Thanks so much for watching. If this story made you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that have shaped our world. See you next time.